just headed out of Wanli and we're going up to the Yehliu Peninsula. You can see this is a long outcrop, and Yehliu is particularly famous for its sandstone figures that have been carved by the ocean, like the Queen's Head. Dong Ao is a very small, cute little harbor. It's the smallest of the harbors in Wanli area. It's a rainy day, but for fishermen, it's just another day. I've come here to Wanli in the northeastern coast of Taiwan to get my boat, the bottom of it, painted. But while I'm here, I wanted to introduce to you the different ports in Wanli district, and I have somebody here who's going to help me do that. He's the Wanli Li Chien-tsai. He's also the owner of the shipyard over here. Li长，你能不能介绍那个湾里渔港的历史，还有你怎么开始做这个行业？
造船厂是我在民国78年的时候创立的，跟我大哥2个人在这个地方垦荒，以前是什么东西都没有。
工厂不止把船油漆啊，还有修理，也是做新的船吗？
都有，日本也有来这里建造很多新船。
Not only is Wanli a great place to have your boat restored, which I'm going to do, it's also famous for crab. This area, the 4 fishing harbors in here, Wanli, Guiho, Yehliu, Dong Ao, these 4 harbors are famous for catching crab. That's what makes this place extra special in Taiwan. It's responsible for 80% of the crab that's caught in Taiwan. 李里长，你有没有时间上我的船去你这4个渔港看一下？
可以啊。
Now let's go.
现在要
对呀，
好，可以啊，
好。We just headed out of Wanli and we're going up to the Yehliu Peninsula. That's this thing here. We're going to go around the corner here to Yehliu Fishing Harbor, which is where Li Chien-tsai started his career, and he's going to explain something to it. You can see this is a long outcrop, and Yehliu is particularly famous for its sandstone figures that have been carved by the ocean, like the Queen's Head. So a lot of people come here to see that. It's quite beautiful. But we're going to round the tip here and come to Yehliu Harbor right here. 这是我从我爸爸的船拿出来的。
罗盘啊。
那你在湾里出生的，或是在耶鲁出生的？
在湾里。
那为什么要到耶鲁去？但是湾里没什么东西，是不是？
没有啊，我17岁去学开船，修船，28岁回来开造船厂。
所以我很开心看到你的儿子还是继续做，因为很多那个行业没有年轻人做，我们未来怎么办？要修船到哪里啊？
因为年轻人现在会有断层，他不愿意做这个辛苦的工作。
So we're just at the mouth of Yehliu Harbor and we're going to drive in. You're going to see that it looks like a very small harbor, but I'm going to show you the secret part of the harbor and the reason that this area is about 80% of Taiwan's total crab fishing industry, because it's just around the corner, but you won't really notice it if you don't look, and then you'll be so surprised at the big boats in there. 你小的时候农船都在这边是不是？
对，这个
啊 ，OK。这里的船都是 CT3以上。
以前这个港都没有了，这个是后来才盖的。
广东蟹笼哎。
目前这边船只有100多艘。
哦，真的那么多？
有的出去作业了，他们这个有的是在捕那个小茧啊，那个青鱼啊。
He was saying that originally it was just a small natural formation, but when the typhoon came, it really couldn't be sustained for the boats, and that's when they built these wave breakers and also this long concrete area so that the boats in here are particularly protected. This area here is still not great because the waves will come in, but this area where these big boats are is particularly safe, and you can see that here. So I'm just going to dock here by the Baoangong Temple because Li Chien-tsai is going to explain something very interesting to us about this temple and one of the traditions they have in this harbor. This Baoangong temple has a very interesting history because for at least 100 years, it is the only place in Taiwan where they take the gods during a special ceremony and take them in the water and swim across the fishing harbor.
这个活动就是有一种传承，就是说，因为海边嘛，多少会有一些无形的往海边的这边靠，然后我们神明就神威显赫下去海，把那些无形的全部把它收起来，或者是把它赶出去，让我们这个港里面跟我们村里面和尽平安，大家都平安。
不管天气怎么样，还是要做。
农历的正月15号那一天就是会做这个活动。
那最冷你发现是多少度啊
？5度，
很冷啊。
No， 就这样还会躲，这样。
很有意思，谢谢。我可能明年来啊，看看。
可以啊，
对啊，
可以啊，欢迎大家。
好，
欢迎大家，欢迎大家，
谢谢。
谢谢。
Next stop is Dong Ao, and when you're on land, they're literally just across the peninsula. It's right here. But with a boat, we have to go all the way around to get to that other harbor. You can see here, Dong Ao is a very small, cute little harbor. It's the smallest of the harbors in Wanli area. So we're in Dong Ao Fishing Harbor, and this is the backside of the Yehliu Peninsula, and you can still see that beautiful sandstone rock formation that you see throughout the whole Yehliu Peninsula. So it's very scenic here, and they also have some great seafood markets here.
我小的时候，它这个渔港只有里面这一些小港而已，外面的那个防波堤通通没有。
但是也是小小的渔船。
对对对。
So the small boats, they just catch small fish and they go out to Geelong Island, that kind of thing, just day fishing. You also have a few boats that go out and catch squid, the ones with the lights on top, or they'll catch baraki in a different season. 很多人都不知道这里有渔港啊，所以我觉得很有意思。All right, so we've just left Dong Ao, and I'm still in docking mode here, so I can see the back of the boat in the chart, but I'm going to switch now to my chart mode, navigation chart, and the next stop is Guihou. Guihou 在这边是不是？哦，很近的，看到了，我已经看到了。So Guihou is actually very close as well. All of Wanli's harbors are actually very, very close from each other. The proximity is very close, so that makes it very easy to hit all of them in one day or even in a few hours. So if you want to take an adventure of Wanli, I recommend you do all 4 fishing harbors in one day and kind of compare and contrast. Each one has its unique character to it, and I have to say each one is very beautiful. 李长，这个地方我来过吃饭。
这边最主要是它是主打万里蟹跟现捞的一些海鲜，所以他们游客来到这边都会吃到很新鲜的海产。
This fishing harbor, like Fuji, is special in that they have a food street here. You can buy the fresh seafood. They also have a seafood market here. So most people who come to Guihou are more familiar with this area. But what I encourage you to do is walk further in. The first part here, a lot of small boats, but if you walk and spend the time to walk a little further, you'll see that this fishing harbor is a hidden treasure and it's a working harbor in addition to having great seafood. So we're back in Wanli. We've just completed our tour of all the fishing harbors in the Wanli area. We started here in Wanli. This is a Class 2 harbor, has a lot of fishing boats in it. It's also the place where I get my boat fixed. The one thing I learned about this Wanli area, famous for its crabs, is that of its 4 harbors, each has a very special characteristic. If you have the time, spend some time in this Wanli area, check out all the harbors here, and you'll have a great time. Finally, I want to thank Li Chien-tsai. He's a very interesting guy. He's not only a fisherman, but a boat repair master, and also the local government representative here. And in that sense, he's really passionate about this area, and he's from this area, so he really understands the history here. And he definitely shared a lot of that with us today. I'm here at the Yehliu Geopark, and it's on the Yehliu Peninsula. We've already explored Yehliu Harbor and over here the Dongao Harbor. But now I want to show you something quite interesting that you have to come and see if you come to this part of Taiwan. Let's go to the map and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is a map of the Yehliu Peninsula. Now you saw that on the boat when we were traveling on the ocean, and you also saw it on the GPS. What I wanted to show you here is that this peninsula actually jets out quite a way into the ocean. And along that path, if you walk the path, you can see a number of sandstone formations that date back thousands of years. And they're really interesting to look at, and they're also very famous in Taiwan. So let's go through the park, and I'll just show you a few of them that I think are very special, and you can get a sense of what you should come to see here. These rock formations are all formed by the power of the sea when the waves come over. And even now during a typhoon, you will get some erosion happening here. The parts that remain, like in these honeycomb structures, are the harder parts, and the softer parts get eroded away more quickly. You can also see it right here in this structure where this harder rock has remained and the softer rock around it has been eroded. You also notice this kind of red color around it. That's because there's a lot of iron in the rock here, and that becomes rust when it gets into contact with the water in the air. So this whole area has a bit of a red tint to it because of all the iron in the sandstone. A lot of the rock formations here are random, but then you come across one of my favorite formations here, the candlesticks. Look at these. It's almost as if nature made them on purpose. They look so beautifully sculpted. And the reason for that, again, is the wicks that you see in the center are harder parts of rock that have not eroded, and the rock around it has eroded due to the currents and the wind erosion and also the rain. And you have these beautiful candlesticks here. They look intentional, and to me that's amazing. And right behind it you will see the green and red harbor markers of Yehliu Harbor, where we took the boat out of. So as you come to this stone bridge, you're getting closer to the main attraction, the Queen's Head, which is just behind me. You'll notice behind me there's a huge lineup of people because they're all here to see the Queen's Head. So that's how you know you're getting close to seeing the main attraction of the Yehliu Geopark. Here she is, the Queen's Head. It's definitely worth the wait. It is amazing to look at, and the formation itself is estimated to be around 4,000 years old. And in 1962 or 1964, a piece of rock dropped off the back of it in this area here and left us with what we have now, a beautiful neck and a beautiful head. Before that, it wasn't so easy to tell what the formation was, and now it's world famous. So I don't have much time here. The lineup is very long, but I definitely wanted to show this to you. And if you have a chance, come when it's early in the morning or late at night, because there's a long line of people waiting to see this beautiful formation. It's 5 o'clock, and I've given you a small sample of the Yehliu Geopark. There's a lot more interesting things to see if you have the time, so I definitely recommend you come explore and spend a few hours here. But I have to go, and the reason I'm going is I'm going to show you something that, if you think back to the very first episode, I ate a kind of crab called Pedestal, white belly crab. And tonight, Li Chien-tsai is going to take us to catch these kind of crabs. That's the next stop. We're meeting him at 6 o'clock. And hopefully we'll have a fruitful catching of crabs tonight.